Hey, hello, and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour for Friday, December 9th, 2022. I got to get rid of the comment. I forgot Pranav's comment was up there. There we go. My name is Chuck Tomasi, and I am not as good at driving the video as Earl Duque, who is on leave right now, celebrating the birth of his second daughter. So we miss him and wish he were here. This is our celebration. Oh, we got to get Sean back in here. There we go. This is our end-of-year celebration for our ServiceNow developer MVPs for 2022, who've done some wonderful things in 2021 to earn the title in 22, and many of them continue to do wonderful, wonderful things for our community. So first, let's go around and do the introductions, starting with this man, Dhruv.
Hi everyone, my name is Dhruv Gupta. I work for Accenture as a technical architect. 6 years into ServiceNow ecosystem. Lots of fun, lots of learning. That's how I'm going. Next to Maria. That's it. Oh, that's it.
It's hard to do.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maria Gabriela Ochoa Press-Wechter, or a lot of you know me as MGOPW. I am a two-time developer MVP and as SNDevs.com community admin. I just started my new Mastodon server, social.sndevs.com. Y'all should totally come chat and have some hot takes.
Is it public now?
Yes, it's public.
Woohoo!
You should also come check out womennow.dev. I am one of the founders, and we have some amazing content from amazing people who I hope will become MVPs next year. Now down to Casey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Casey. I'm actually one of the other admins for SNDev Slack. Like Maria was talking about, I am a first-time Dev MVP for this year, but it's good to apply. So Chuck will dive into that. If you don't apply, you can't become a Dev MVP, and that was what was holding me back for a few years. Yeah, Dev MVP, and I work for New Access Innovations. I've been on the platform since the Berlin days, so kind of an old school person on the call.
I don't think I've ever gotten my intro done in one shot. Like, hi, I've been on the platform for 5 years. Next to Ashutosh.
Thanks.
Oh, and I work at Servos. Whoops.
Oh, and you're also the host of Lady Coding Happy Hour, the variant of this show.
Yes, where Chuck is one of our interns. One day I'll get it in one go, I promise.
Gotta write it down. Ashutosh, get us moving again.
Okay, I'm Ashutosh. I'm working with Nationale Nederlanden. It's an insurance company in Netherlands based out of The Hague. I'm also Dev MVP, Community MVP for multiple times. Big fan of cricket, big fan of football. We have a podcast, Lata Vi Prata, with Dhruv. We do Mavericks. We have our own YouTube channel, but yeah, follow us. Over to you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark Roethoff, living in the Netherlands. So at this moment, I'm a little bit distracted because I'm also following the World Cup soccer match. But yeah, in my daily life, I'm a freelance ServiceNow consultant now for 6 years into ServiceNow and a 3-time developer MVP. So let's go down to Ashish.
Thanks, Mark. So, hey, hi, everyone. I am Ashish Atre. I have been practicing ServiceNow from past 6 years. Currently, I'm working as a technical specialist at HCL Tech. and I'm a 2 times developer MVP. So yeah, and I've been managing the ServiceNow Noida meetup. So keep following me on the LinkedIn, so you'll get the more good pics about the Noida meetup. So now over to Ishan. This side, which side? Yeah, this side.
Your left.
Hello,
The left
hello
one.
everyone. Myself Ishan. I'm a senior technical consultant working with the ServiceNow partner Third Era. Been with ServiceNow for 4+ years now, and just enjoying that journey. The way it's going, it's amazing. Also a developer MVP 22, and also run the live streams on LinkedIn, YouTube, and organizing meetups here at Melbourne, Australia. So, and much more goes behind it. So that's all. Thank you.
All right. And my name is Chuck Tomasi. I'm a senior developer advocate at ServiceNow. Been here since 2010, doing podcasts, videos, live streams, much as this one, books occasionally. I was a customer for a couple of years before that, and long history of software development going back into the early 80s, which means I've now reached 40 years of development, and I feel like an old man. There's a reason I don't have a beard. It would be white. So now let's waste some more time and tell them what we're drinking. This is live coding happy hour. So same order, Dhruv. I can probably put a solid wager on what you're drinking.
Nah, you might lose your bet today. So it's crazily cold over here. It's freezing, -4. So I'm just taking water in this particular swag. Oh, sorry.
Developer everything. First, he's pointing in the wrong direction. Let's get the water bottle. I got my community one. Look at this. I love it.
One of the perks
We
of
should
being
have
an
a
MVP.
We should have a swag off to see who has, like, except for Chuck, who has the most niche or weird or like small batch ServiceNow merch.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna win.
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
no,
Let's get
I
through
don't
the
have.
drinks first. Let's get through the drinks.
Mario, you are
Gabby,
next.
you're up.
Drew's got water. Gabby, go.
Hi, I am drinking a beer that I stole from my husband's fridge. It is a strawberry zombie white ale. It's Catawba Brewing Co. and it tastes palatable to a non-beer drinker, so I definitely recommend it.
Who's that from? Is that
Catawba?
okay? The zombie on the side made it look like a Voodoo Ranger thing, but clearly
Oh yeah,
not.
no.
Casey, what do you got?
All right, so I am not a big drinker and I don't drink beer, but so I am drinking a bubbly citrus cherry with caffeine, but I had to actually embrace it. So I did bring out the Downslope vodka from Downslope Slate. It is a Maui cane sugar vodka. It's actually pretty dang good. So that is mixed into the bubbly. So I will try not to, I'm not going to be an Earl and do shots, but I will.
Ashutosh?
Okay. I need to be sober because whatever I wanted to drink, I already had it when the match was on, when it was in the peak time. So I am back to water. Mark.
Yeah, I've got a beer, from one of the islands in the Netherlands. And it's called Skumkoppen. Yeah, I've never had it before. So yeah, let's see.
So I'm
Andrew,
just
you have one
carrying
of my minty donuts? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go
Drink
ahead.
too much.
So I'm just carrying my Dev MVP bottle. So there's a water in it. Yeah.
So I did get beers yesterday. I thought, it's in the morning, 8:30. I'll start off with having a beer, but I've dropped that plan. I sneaked out and got a mocha from my local cafe, which is amazing. So I should be rating it 5 at the end of the show.
Earl is watching. He's going to make a real drinking game. I think that's going to be that's going to be a community thing. We all get to put in what are the rules. If Chuck says increase the font size, take a drink.
I don't think that's a healthy drinking game. That might go against the Geneva Convention. That and when people point at the wrong direction, take a shot, we would be dead. 5 minutes in, we'd be done.
I've got a. It was a hard choice because there wasn't much in the fridge, but I did find a creamy pumpkin spice liqueur of some type. So that's what I've got. I'm gonna go slow on that. It was either that or a giant can of Foster's beer that I went, not today. All right. That is our introductions. See you later, everybody. No, I've got a quick screen share to do for you. We have one slide and one slide only. Let me see if I can share the exact window. There it is. These people are 2022 MVPs, and I want to let you know that call for 2023 MVPs is open. And you don't have to be, the biggest YouTube star on the internet to do this. This is not a popularity contest. You don't have to have 10 years of experience on the platform to become an MVP. This is all about giving back. And one of the stories I like to tell to encourage people is way back when I had a friend who converted from Windows to Mac, and he made a podcast chronicling his journey about learning the Mac and ways that it was different than the PC. And it became a very, very successful podcast. In fact, he had sponsorship from many of the Mac vendors. I think he scored a NAS out of it or something too. So it was very interesting. You're not going to get any NAS out of me, but you could still be an MVP. There is swag available, as you saw many of our current people. And I should mention that's not the complete contingent of 2022 MVPs. I think we had 26, 23 somewhere. We had a fair number of them. This is just a small sampling of those that could make it or wake up in the middle of the night to join us. So if you're interested, just like Casey said, don't be shy. You can't become an MVP if you don't at least throw your hat in the ring. And it can have significant improvements on your career trajectory. We're going to stay away from the jokes, but there's been a significant number of MVPs that have landed jobs. I loved the part at. Let me stop the screen right there. I love the part at CreatorCon where we had MVP pictures all over the walls. Drew, you were on there. Travis and Sarah Tolson were on there. Anybody else from this group that was on the wall of fame? Sharon Barnes and Eric Reimer. Jared. And then there were even more in the keynote presentation. So there's these are real people. These are our people. This is our family that we're showcasing in these venues and on these presentations. So, I'm not going to make any promises to what 2023 holds, but we've got new ideas and refresh some of the old ones. And it can really make a difference by being an MVP. What I'd like to do is kind of go around the screen. Maybe we'll take the same order now that people are learning which way to point. And just kind of get some insight. Like, Drew, what did you get out of being a developer MVP?
So being developer MVP has been a life-changing thing for me, specifically for me because of Dev MVP, I think I got the job in the city where I want to live, that is London. I moved into London. That Dev MVP thing gave me a lot of visibility, and that visibility was the reason that probably my manager or the people thing spotted me and have my dream fulfilled. Apart from that, being a MVP gives you the privilege accesses to people like you, Chuck. So whenever we have some problems, I just paste it in the some things that we can't share. But yeah, so it's a good learning thing, visibility, everything. So it has been it has been an enjoyable ride. And yeah, if you keep, I would recommend everyone to participate, at least give it a try. And I can assure you that, this could be one of the best decisions of your life if you apply for that. So I think I'm gonna point in again in the wrong. No, this one is correct.
There you go. I was getting it now.
Thank you very much.
How about you?
I will now.
What has been your value for being a developer MVP?
I will now proceed to talk when it is my turn. See, I can learn. So the very first thing that I want to talk about, though, is how I became a developer MVP. And it was thanks to the inspiration of a really good friend of mine and also an MVP, Paige. She came to me and showed me the roster of the very first developer MVP cohort, and we saw that there were no women. Now, I know personally Chuck, and I know the people who made these decisions, they are not the type of people. The problem here is that applying. And if you are anything like I am, you don't know if what you contribute even is of any worth. You don't know if what you're doing is bringing any value. You don't know if it's even worth doing it because you feel like hating other people's stuff. But I want to tell you guys, I'm going to monopolize this room right now and tell you guys that you need to apply. You need to put yourself out there, even if you apply just for the no. I literally submitted my application just to be denied because I felt like I wasn't enough of a developer. I felt like I didn't know enough JavaScript. I didn't know enough coding of anything. I didn't know enough to stand in the same room as a lot of these men. But what I really want next year is I want next year to be a lot more women who apply. And I want you guys to do whatever it takes to get there. And you will message me on Slack, Mastodon, Twitter, LinkedIn, please. And I'll help you figure out what you need to do in order to get your content out there. I'll host your content on womennow.dev. If you have something to say about being a woman in technology, if you want to share a blog post on UI actions, client scripts, or anything that you've learned, sharing your experience is the most important thing. And honestly, if it wasn't for, in my opinion, the MVP of the MVPs, Earl, who has done so much for advocacy, he's on leave right now, and he was so instrumental in helping me organize and helping with a post My Tech Best Friend Fallout and helping people get the help that they needed. If it wasn't for him encouraging me from the beginning, I would literally not be here. I would literally not be in my job. And I guess what I want to say that the most important thing that being an MVP has gotten me, like Drew said, we get access to a lot of very special people who can help us achieve our goals. And my goal is to get more women in this screen with me next year. Okay? Thank you. I cede the floor.
We have had a number of women, they just weren't able to make it, but Paige, Ashley, Nia, you,
Sarah.
Let's get
Sharon.
Sarah. Let's get more diversity. That's a good thing.
Yep. And Gabby just totally forgot to also mention that she's the Dev MVP that was also on the keynote stage at CreatorCon. So
y'all, I got to do something super cool with Chuck this year at Knowledge. It was amazing. I was terrified. Funny story, actually. I didn't have a voice. Okay, so maybe singing karaoke the night before was not a good idea. Chuck might be full of bad ideas, but he's a lot of fun. But funny story, I actually got lost that morning on the way to the convention center. We went the wrong way and we ended up going like 10 New York blocks, the wrong direction. We were about to end up coming in late anyways. So we had to just book it across. And I have a bunch of selfies of me running with Paige and Mary behind me. And I named my my calluses Mary and Scotton. So being a dev MVP has given me so many opportunities to have crazy adventures. And honestly, these people that I get to share the space with are super inspiring and make me want to be better every single day. So that's the best part of being an MVP, getting to be here with you guys.
You even convinced me to get those green chucks.
It was a great idea.
They're actually hanging right over here.
They're amazing.
All right, I guess I'll jump in. So yeah, one of the biggest highlights I think of finally actually putting in my hat in the ring for Dev MVP is expanding my reach with the community out there and having people reach out to me and actually, engage with the community a lot more. So I've been an admin on the SNDev Slack for a few years now, and I just have never put my hat in the ring. So once again, put your hat in the ring to get out there. If you don't apply, you won't be able to become a Dev MVP. But once you get in there, it opens the door and people start reaching out to you and engaging with you just because of that notoriety, the blog post of where you're at. And now that I'm posting, I still post things on YouTube, walkthroughs, things like that every once in a while. With that tag of Dev MVP, you get a little bit more further reach out there. So it's allowed me to, now I'm working full-time from home. I've moved halfway across the country again. I'm back in Southern California. So I kind of want to engage with the Southern California devs and do a dev meetup near San Diego. So hopefully this reaches some of you guys and starts to reach out to me there. I had a good crowd in Denver for a long time. And I'll still fly back out there and meet you guys. But really the growing the community and seeing how many of you just walked up to me randomly at Knowledge and what's your username? Well, I had to really get into who they were. I'm like, oh yeah, we've interacted, but it grew tenfold from previous years. So that was a great thing. And then like Drew started at the beginning, just the inside access and giving our feedback for enhancing the product and changing it. The whole new admin menu system that's going to be coming out for update set picker and global picker and stuff like that. I think the dev MVPs scripted most of it right there. So it's yeah.
Do you want to say something about forward-looking statements?
Oh yeah.
We've got 2 events coming up in January just for MVPs. One is around that product direction. Our VP of platform has asked to get some face time with our MVPs. So we set those up. Feedback about where we're going, what we're doing, what's come out. Let's have that engagement. This is invaluable to our product teams. So it's a nice perk. And then at the end of the month, we've got one of our chief innovation officer, not the chief innovation officer, but one of his lieutenants is going to be presenting before Utah early availability. This is like the early availability about what's coming out. So they'll get early awareness or early information about what's coming out in our next release. So we're trying to make that a rolling cycle of every quarter. You get product feedback twice a year. You get that early access. So there's some real valuable stuff for your job, along with water bottles and stuff.
Yeah.
But the water bottles are more important.
Yeah.
and let's not all forget, during the pandemic, for the last 2 years of Dev MVPs, SN Devs has also sent out stickers and other swag. And I think I beat Brad 2 years running for getting out SN Dev swag. And of course, Gabby's holding up the 3D printed donuts, minty donuts that she made.
It's a very creative group. Very creative group. Ashutosh, what's been your value of being an MVP?
Yeah, so I will start with the perspective of how people look at you, right? When you hold this title, the way how the community or the ecosystem looks at you is totally different, because of course you share the stage with these people who are in the call and who are listening us, the MVPs. I'm not kidding, but whenever I go into call with my clients, because this is a product-based company, everyone started calling me MVP Ashutosh. So that is the prestige which we have earned because of this title.
He's wearing it around the office.
I just wear my jackets in the office, yes. But
even better, you get a jacket.
Yeah. But like Dhruv said, he moved from India to UK with this title. Same happened with me in 2019. So when I got this title, I got an opportunity to move back from India to Netherlands. And that was, I think, because of the title which I hold. Like I said, the perspective. Second thing is not only access to you, Chuck, Brad, and Earl, and all people, but also we get a chance to see, or we get a chance to do some research on what things are coming in future, right? So we are the audience, or we are the testers, I would say, that have an access which you already know what is coming next. Not in detail, of course, but people are asking your input, and that is something very important. When you ask our input to develop a product, we feel
special.
We not only special, of course, but also we don't feel ignored, right? And then
feels
I
like
think
you're making a change.
Yeah,
exactly. So we we have a say in it, right? So if ServiceNow is bringing something, we have a say in it. Also, I think the heroes thing, which ServiceNow came up with, right, Gabby? You were there in the heroes video. That is something I think also because of MVP. You are sharing a big screen on the platform because I think ServiceNow is a big company, and if you are already on the site, people know you now from that, and that is something ServiceNow is giving. And I think I will mention one last thing, and that is the mentorship program, right? Which also contributed towards the image which I have, because the mentee which I had, he is now successfully working in ServiceNow and he got a job change. He also moved his country because of the job change, and the trust he had in me was because of the MVP title. So that's the biggest success for me because of what I hold today, and that is Dev MVP.
You bring up a great point, because you are changing lives. The whole point of the MVP program is people that are giving back to the community. Casey was doing a meetup, looking to possibly start the San Diego meetup again. Gabby's making videos, and Women in Now. There's different ways you can contribute back. So it's not all about your skill level or how many followers you've got on LinkedIn. It's really about that giving back, and you are making an impact on a lot of lives, whether you recognize it right away or not. Or sometimes they come up and go, "Hey, I got that job. Thank you very much." The mentorship program, I just want to point out real quick, is a separate program. You don't have to be an MVP to be a mentor. So and you don't have to have an MVP as a mentor, but they're closely related because they are all part of our developer program.
But the word is spreading, right, Chuck? Like if my mentee is saying that follow this program, because of this I got this,
yeah,
and because of the mentor who is a Dev MVP, I got this. Many people are in my LinkedIn now asking for help, and that is again because of this. So that's
you
the point
reminded
I
me
want
of
to make.
something else. There's no fixed limit. It's not like, hey, the top 25 get in here. We are looking at your contributions to what you do for the community. So all applicants are considered. And if that line is, 15 people, it's 15 people. Where we draw the line between really good and, well, maybe next year. If it's 150, I would love to have 150 MVPs at some point. Maybe it might not happen this year based on the number of applicants we've got, but it doesn't have to be, this is the same number we had last year, so that's what we're going to have this year. Could be higher, could be lower, don't know. We could have repeats, we could have a lot of new faces. I'd love to see more new faces on the MVP Wall of Fame.
All
right. Something important. Go for it, Ashutosh.
One last point. Kopal is not here. We forgot that she's also an MVP. And I think Dhruv and I can relate. We forced her literally last year to fill the application. And she made it.
Kopal's
right?
amazing.
Yes.
She didn't wanted to do that. And me and Dhruv were like, hey, don't miss this chance. Just go for it.
And Nia. That's something important to note, is that we don't all have to contribute the same thing. Like, I will never be on the level of a Sarah Tolson or a Travis Tolson as far as technical content goes, but I work to help lift other women and people up. So we all bring different things. You don't have to be the same as anybody else.
Yep.
Yeah. And don't think you have to be the outspoken personality on video or even blogs. It's like, most of my contributions are just chat helping through SNDev Slack. So, wherever your niche is, figure that out, and try to dive into that.
Good points. Excellent. Mark.
Yeah, I joined the developer MVP program when it just started. So it was really new at that point. I think Ashutosh was also already part of that group, of the first cohort. And it was pretty amazing because it has already been said, right? It doesn't matter how long you're already working with ServiceNow or whatever. At that moment, I was just in for 3 years, and I thought, why me? What do I have to bring here or whatever? And there were other people. Yeah, and you're thinking, whoa, those are great names and amazing. And now, actually, it's a bit different around, at Knowledge at The Hague. I had to do so many selfies. It was
Isn't it
Welcome to
weird?
my world.
yeah, so amazing. But that's also a bit like sometimes you are also not really aware of um, or conscious about what the developer MVP program gives you because it goes slowly and everything just builds up. But like the collaboration with everyone, additional information that we get or that we can access, but also that there's a little bit bigger platform for your knowledge and what you are contributing. It's more echoed. It's a bit of bigger platform. But actually, we are spending a lot of time in sharing all kinds of things. But in my opinion, um, by sharing, you're learning so much. So you're working so much on your own skill also. So you are contributing. It does cost a lot of time. It's also a lot of fun. But you are also learning so much of it. And instead of doing some mandatory programs within your company, you have to do this for your development and this. Now you're actually, doing your own growth path and you full control yourself. So with a lot of fun things. So that's also great. And it's, especially the collaboration with everyone is it's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's yeah. Obvious. Probably I'm forgetting a lot of things, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun to be part of this. Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much. Ashish, anything to add to that?
Yeah, for sure. So, being a developer MVP, it has brought the immense boost in the reachability over the LinkedIn and the other platforms. And I would say it has brought the sense of accountability to own the things, to become more, I would say, sensible towards the customer requirements. So every time there's something, any POCs to be done. So they have put me on the front that we have the MVP, you can get the best out of it. So this is kind of, I would say, prestige we have got and gained, I would say, earned from the MVP program or being a MVP. And the last thing I would say, so if you want to get something, you need to ask for it. So go ahead and just register yourself for the Dev MVP program. You will be the next MVP.
Well said. I often repeat that as well. If you don't ask, you don't get. So.
For sure.
It's been very rewarding as well. I mean, I think Ashutosh, you mentioned that somebody got a job because of your credentials as an MVP. It's always nice when they come up to you, maybe in person at a conference, and say, "You answered that question for me on the community or on the Slack." It's like, okay, I was just going about my usual Tuesday, and it certainly helped you. Thank you.
I think when Mark goes to Snug, or when Mark goes to the meetups, he get that often.
Yeah,
And the
for
knowledge
sure.
also, in the knowledge also, I think I experienced it for the first time, that how many people reached out to me saying that, you have helped me. Okay, your guidance helped me. So that was motivating for me, and that it's like I can see a positive change in myself, not technically, but also in how we handle my clients and all. So if there is a demand, I can literally assure that this is coming or this is not coming, you should go this way, or because these are the general discussions that keep on going on. So it's a great thing to be a dev MVP, and it's a fun as well. You get lots of things, man.
And you can grow technically too if that's your interest.
Yeah.
There were times when I was spending a lot of time in the community, somebody would ask a question and say, "I don't know that, and I really should. I'm going to go find out." And that's how you build your own skills and your own knowledge so that you can give back to the community. I mean, half the videos and whatnot are things, just weird stuff that I've learned along the way. It's like, did you know there's a unique field on the dictionary? It's like, wow, I got to share that because I don't think everybody knows that. It's just those little nuances and how you share your knowledge or your experience. Like Casey said, it doesn't necessarily even need to be that. It's like, I run a meetup and I help out in the Slack channel. That's a lot. That's a lot of.
I learned blockchain this year, blockchain from ServiceNow people as well. Like Nicola was there and other folks were there. They were attracted because we were the dev MVPs. We were pushing that content. So you get to learn new skills as well. It's you
You bet.
what you want to do. It, the cohort would be there to help you out. So Ishan, I just
And
took your time.
No, no worries.
and I just do want to add one specific point. So I do agree with what Dhruv had just said. So when I landed to the Hague and the knowledge event, so there was a couple of folks who just called my name. Even I didn't know them, but they called me that you are the Dev MVP. Yes, you have answered. You have we have gone through your Knowledge 21 presentation. So yeah, that gave me the positivity. And if you are getting something from the ServiceNow or from something your cohort, you should give back to it. So it's better to give back to the community so that they learn, they empower themselves.
Absolutely. Ishan,
All right.
what are your
So,
words of wisdom?
so I might steal everyone's one point that and make it my answer, but I would like to what I would
E,
like
all
to
of the above.
Yeah, but I would like to reflect on some of the points that are already covered here. So, I when I was started contributing to the community, and even before, I used to look up to, I saw a post from Dhruv on LinkedIn. I used to like, what is this guy doing? What he's up to? And Mark and MGOPW. I look up to these guys and what they used to do. And I looked up at Dhruv's portfolio one day. Like he built some, a card reader that used to scan a QR code and create an incident in ServiceNow, something of that sort. So it's been a really amazing journey. So sharing the stage with these people, and to MGOP Maria's point, women. I'm in touch with some ladies, women, or women developers. So I've seen that that they are like even they're really close to me, so I know what they have been through. So sometimes what happens that they are not considered as equal as a men developer. So I've heard from them that hey Sean, I'm not getting to write scripts. All the scripts are being given to the men out there who are assigned to the project, and I'm just filling in the manual data. So what should I do? I say just speak up. So that's the way forward. You have to ask for it. And so that actually happens. So I know that. And you should just speak up, stand for yourself, and ask for the work that you want to do. And also the mentorship program, I am in touch with some people who have really got their mentors and are in the same company as their mentor. So this is really helping out people again. And we get to research the platform before it goes live, so that's again a plus that we get. And knowledge as well, right? Before knowledge 22, like I connected with so many people virtually, but when I was there, like everyone was, oh hey Sean, like it's nice meeting you. So you get that name out there, people know you beforehand, and it's great to have that network built out. So yeah. And also, like personally me, or having I had a creator session this year, and organized developer meetup. So something I was really nervous when I took up the opportunity of organizing dev meetups. I was like, how will I do this? And even before the creator session, I've submitted my idea, it's approved, but how will I do this? But it just do it, is the attitude. So don't just keep thinking, come into the system and just do what you want to do, and it just goes, it goes really well. So yeah, some of, and yeah, also you get to work closely with the developer advocacy team, who are really humble, just a message away. So just reach out to them, like everyone can reach out to them, so it's not just the MVPs. So yeah, these are some of the things that are from top of my head right now.
Thank you, Ishan. I want to take a quick moment and thank you for being there for those women, because what you are saying hurts my soul because of how right it is. So many women get relegated to be a secretary, to take notes, even though they are developers with similar, if not better, credentials than their male counterparts. So to those of you out there who want to be MVPs and are men, I challenge you, or non-binary, I challenge you to be an ally to those out there who aren't getting the same representation as you maybe in your teams. But also to the women and non-binary people out there who are getting marginalized. Find people like Ishan and find your allies and ask them for tips, ask them how they can help you get to where you want to be. Don't just wait and don't just be silent. You don't deserve that treatment. I am going to get off of my soapbox now. Thank you very much.
It's worth saying, and I endorse it 100%. Something somebody said earlier before, I don't remember who it was exactly, but I just want to underscore, you don't need to know how to script to be a developer MVP. You know, as I mentioned earlier, you could chronicle your journey of how you're getting started as a developer and share that with the world through blogs or you know, Slack conversation or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be any one thing in the way that you give back. It's just a way of sharing your experience, what you know, with the community, and you know, being more inclusive, making it safer, just some way that everybody's getting lifted up. It's not down to, you know, hey, I wrote 1,000-line script include. Frankly, I'd go, that's not going to do it. You're going down the wrong path.
Just
There's
one more
so
point.
much content. Oh, go for it, Ishan.
Yeah, after you. No worries.
Oh, I was just going to say, there is so much content out there that's like super old that you can remake. You can like Chuck said, make your own learning JavaScript that's going to get linked instead of Chuck's. Like, we can make new content, guys. It'll be great. I'm joking,
Chuck
Chuck.
has to
Back to
redo it
you.
with EMCA 6+ now, you know.
Right. Yeah, I've got it on my backlog to go put in some ES6+ content in there, but if somebody beats me to it, fine.
Save Chuck the hassle.
Or redo your own content. I think I've done presentations and versions of the same PDF presentation I've done at Knowledge, and that like 3 times because they keep updating how ServiceNow supports it. Right? You're never stopping.
Those very first Jelly videos that we did back in 2013, those were based off of a blog that eventually got taken down. So fortunately, we were able to, you know, distill and put some PowerPoints behind that. Still some of the most popular videos we've ever done, but it's just a way of, what is your take on this information? What did you get out of it? What did you learn? And I think right now I'm subscribed to at least 20 YouTube channels and about that many podcasts around the ServiceNow ecosystem. If that number doubles, great. You know, lend your voice. Let us know what it is. If you choose to deliver content as a way to become an MVP. Again, it doesn't have to be that specifically. You may come up with some new idea, some new crazy idea that we haven't even thought of and go, that's phenomenal. You changed the way we score, or you changed the way that you've influenced the community in some positive way. Maybe it's, I found a new way to go recruit new developers. You're on my A+ list if you can figure that one out.
And adding to that, oh sorry, Ishan, go.
No, Ishan's been holding it in.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, so in terms of this, you know, customers recognize you as a MVP. It definitely happens. Same happens with me as Ashu and Ashish. So same thing has happened with me. Like, you know, they look up to you. Oh, so you've got an award from ServiceNow. It's a developer MVP award. So you know, you get that recognition there in work, and even outside of actual work in the company as well. Everyone knows you. So this really happens, and the way to go is just do it. Don't keep thinking. Just start doing it.
It's pressure sometimes. It's really pressure sometimes.
Absolutely.
It's really embarrassing a lot of the times when you work at a partner and they send out that picture of you on a Partner Now email, and everybody starts messaging you. Wait, why are you on the sign up page for CreatorCon? What's going on? It's like, I'm an introvert. I promise, I'm an introvert.
Because if something new is coming, the expectation is, this guy already knows everything what is coming. Just ask him everything. No, it's not true.
and they put you on the frame. They put you on a frame randomly. So you need to tell this. What is the new feature all about?
We say, right? We keep they keep a gun on the shoulder and fire. So we are the shield. We are the shield.
And you get trophies for your cabinet. ServiceNow trophies were the first I got in my entire life. So something good happens. And apart from that, when you're creating content, don't worry that people are gonna like it, or there are lots of people who already knew that. There are always people who don't know that, and you can write in the way you want. Like I just write in a way I remember,
Mhm.
like the ServiceNow license subscription model. It was so confusing for me at that time, so I linked it to the Pokemon thing. Like there are three versions of it, and that's how I remember. So it's easy to consume. So don't worry about that. I have written those articles, and till date I write articles in that manner. So don't worry.
You bring up a great idea, because that's a lot of how some of my early content started. I was a customer, and as I would learn this, I'd make notes. Hey, don't forget this, or here's a secret client script method to do whatever that I saw, and Evernote was starting to fill up with stuff, and I went, it wouldn't take much to morph these into blogs, and blogs became videos, and videos became well, kind of what I do every day. But
I am literally working. Oh, go for it.
Well, I just say I'm willing to bet that the majority of developers are keeping some kind of note taking of little technical tips and secrets. There is a tag in Evernote that says technical tips or technical tricks that I can go back to, that goes back to the genesis of when I started capturing them. Like, oh yeah, it could be potential content in the future. Because like you said, but even if you know something, it doesn't mean that everybody knows it. That unique field was actually on the dictionary entry form. I came up with a Did You Know last week, little 3-minute video about how to make records unique based on the value in a field. And that's been in there. It used to be on the dictionary form. There used to be audit and unique, and then it got cleaned up, and we got advanced view, etc. But it doesn't mean that everybody knows it today. There's lots of people coming in all the time and go, oh, I'm going to keep that in my back pocket in case I need it someday. Or that I've had a number of people go, you are so timely. I needed that. Like right now, I'm glad you came out with that video. Of course, if you get a few hundred or a few thousand people watching your video, somebody's going to get it just
odds are, yeah.
Sometimes
My
it's
favorite
also
XKCD.
Oh,
Go for it, Mark.
sometimes it's also on content that you indeed think like, oh, everyone knows, but it's not like that. And sometimes it's also like, oh, there's already a blog or whatever, but just make a video of it because it's your view on it, and you're maybe sharing some new points on it. And something which is also great, you're forgetting about it, and then suddenly you're touching that subject again. You're going to search, and you're finding your own content.
Yeah, raise your hand if that's happened to you.
multiple times, hundreds of.
Raise your hand if you put a note in Obsidian and you already put that note in Obsidian like 5 days earlier.
Yeah, one thing we say in the podcast world is, even if there's already 1,000 podcasts about that topic, we were dumb enough to start a Star Trek podcast in 2017. You know how many Star Trek podcasts there are, but there's none like ours. So that's the cool thing is you will bring your own opinions, you will bring your own voice, you will bring your own flavor to that content, and that's what really gets excited. I just started watching somebody's videos this last week and went, that's amazing. I never heard anybody do UI policies that way. Really well done.
Like Jay said, just make a copy of the blog with your take on it. Like something that I had to learn from Earl was that, yes, people have written on the content that I want to write about, but what I'm sharing is how I collected all the information that I looked up and I learned. And then I regurgitated it in a way that I understood, because people might understand the same way. That's something that I think is super important that people realize. You don't have to be the first person writing on something, but also you can just write stuff so you yourself remember later. Because right now I have a series or like a couple of blog posts on localization, because that's a nightmare. Localization in Tokyo. Don't recommend it, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Same thing. So, a lot of the big projects I've done, I found, blog posts and other, write-ups on community that step you through it, right? But most of us, when we write, we are not as detailed as every single thing, right? And sometimes things get missed, right, in these blog posts. So when I was doing it, I'm like, I had to go ask them. I had to actually figure it out. You had to right click, you had to do this, especially when I was early starting with ServiceNow. So I record video content when I do mine because I'd rather go back, pause, rewatch, and actually try to figure out every click they made. And having that ability is great. And for me, it's just OBS and I screen record. And sometimes I'll edit things out, but it's not me planning something. And probably Chuck has a whole workflow of I'm going to shoot this. I just record the whole thing through and sometimes scrub things out. And really, my recording the whole thing through might be an hour long, posted on YouTube, and people still watch all the hour. But they're like, well, I skipped around and all this. But just being able to just record it all the way through, so many more people have everything was there. You did everything, right? So that's why I prefer doing it that way. I mean, blog posts are great. I'm not that guy to write them, really. But, some people are.
Something super important about creating content is that you need to just finish it. Finished, not perfect. I uploaded my AES video and then I immediately realized that I didn't use the correct camera spot. So I covered up 90% of what I did on the screen. And I was so upset, but it's there. It's still there. I'm not going to redo it because that's just, no, it's out there. And Jace, to respond to you, I also love localization, but it does not love me.
Single-sided love, right?
One-sided love. That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Localization and accessibility are very important, and that's something that I take very seriously in my UI design. And we have with Jesslyn Smith, who is the love of my life. She's amazing. She's a future MVP, I'm telling you. But she and I did a CreatorCon session on the top 5-10 things to know before trying localization. You should totally check it out. CreatorCon 22.
So one more thing is I heard there was a ServiceNow developer series from Barra and Chuck on Breakpoint podcast, and in which they covered a lot of things. So one of the things that I've picked up and also followed is maintaining an Excel of the projects that I'm doing. So I keep updating it every 3 months or 6 months. And when I look back, so basically the Chuck and the team already know, when I come to the office hours for CreatorCon, I already do have a couple of, hey Chuck, I did this project, I can pick this idea up from here and present a session. So you already are building up content in your life, but just need to put it out there in a generic way. So that's one thing everyone should start doing as well, I would say.
That's another way. I know call for content is closed. I accidentally flashed the URL up earlier, but think about presenting at a conference. CreatorCon is a great way. It's hey, I got 20 minutes. What am I going to share? The 5 things I learned before you do translation that I don't want you to bump your head on. Or here's a project, and you may not even know what you want to present on, but as you said, bring your list of projects and say, here's something I did. We can help formulate that. We're here to help you create that content for those conferences with office hours and massage that messaging so that you have the best chance of being selected with a title and abstract. Then if it's selected, we're there with more office hours to help shape what that looks like. How does the process, how does the presentation flow? Are you going to be doing a demo? Are there screen captures? All that kind of stuff. We saw a remarkable difference in the delivery of sessions last year for the people who did and did not attend those office hours. Kim is one of the outstanding ones. We literally in about 7 weeks, we watched her presentation, tweak and morph, and it came out so great. But if she had just gone to market with that first deck, it would have been a totally different story. Cool. We're winding down. I think we have enough time to rate our drinks.
But something else.
Okay. Now we get latency
Oh
or something.
no, I think I'm lagging. Okay, so something else that I think is really important and really awesome is something that I seem to have now forgotten about completely. Great. Am I caught up yet?
Let's go around and rate our drinks. Drew, how's the water?
Pretty warm, so I can't read water, so
I think you always give water a 5.
5, yeah.
Gabby, how was your
Skip
drink?
me. Go, Casey.
Skip you.
I would say the caffeinated
I'll go at the end.
the caffeinated bubbly with vodka inside gets a 4.5.
4.5. Oh, I should mention to the people who are new to this, we rate out of 5 on a quarter point scale. So 5.0 is the highest you can get. I'd get it again. I'd drink it again. 0 is pour it down the drain and hope it doesn't stink. Ashutosh.
Water, which will allow me to sleep properly tonight. So 5 out of 5.
Mark.
Yeah, my skuumkoppen from one of the islands in the Netherlands. It's okay, but 3.5. It's not that great, but it's okay.
Oh, Chris also mentioned something that we didn't talk about, Hacktoberfest. Another way of giving back to the community. So every October, we have, what we call it, crowdsourced events. One year it was
open source.
Yep. And you'll learn a whole lot more about source control than you ever thought you would.
Yeah, and even for the people that aren't, heavy coders, right? We built it, best practice libraries, but we also had people reviewing, the structure of their submissions and stuff like that. So it's a team effort.
And right. Earl did amazing at making it more accessible to people. Like, he's the reason I know GitHub right now. If it wasn't, and I wrote a blog post about it on womennow.dev. So if you want to learn more about GitHub, you should totally check it out. It's got a SpongeBob picture. You'll identify it quickly.
Mark, did you give a numerical rating for your drink? I missed it.
Yeah, 3.5.
3.5. All right.
It's okay, but yeah.
1 point it took away because we lost.
Sorry for your loss.
So not the quarter point success factor, but the negative one. Yeah.
Everything is more bitter when you lose. Ashish, how is it?
So I would rate water 5 out of 5. This is the best drink I've ever.
And Ishan, you had some coffee?
Yeah, so mocha from my favorite cafe here locally. So I would still give it 4.9. Every time I'm giving 4.5, so I'll change that for now.
So strict.
All right, and whatever's left of my creamy pumpkin spice liqueur thing, that was pretty good. I'm going to give that a 4.5 also. But I've also got some
My
water
drink
here.
was Yummalicious. It was a 4. I would drink it again if I had to hop on the show again. But I honestly can't remember what I was going to say, other than if anybody has any questions about becoming an MVP, or if you need any help or a aggressive or supportive push from a aunt-like character in your life, I'm happy to help. Find me everywhere at mgopw.dev.
And
Thank you.
Most of our audience knows about SNDev's Slack, but if you're not there and you want to be, invite.sndevs.com.
It's not just for MVPs.
No.
Although we do have a special channel just for the MVPs.
Yeah, that's
It's a secret.
Secret, man. You by yourself leaking out secrets.
It's a big secret.
no. It actually is
right.
part of like the
Speaking
call for the MVPs. They're like,
Yeah,
you get
call for
access to a
content.
special channel.
So if you want to apply to MVP, and one of the big draws is like one-on-one time with Chuck, the call for content for CreatorCon, you got like 7 ServiceNow employees in a Zoom for an hour, and nobody knows to show up. I love it. I had so much fun just showing up to hang out with you guys this year. Like, I had a blast.
We get more creative ideas out of those open office hours. Like, hey, you know what we should do?
Tamagotchis and Service Portal.
3D printers at Knowledge.
3D printers and knowledge.
Chat
All right.
GPT.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing all of you in person in a few short months and working with you on your content as it goes forward. And again, viewer, if you're not sure, please at least consider throwing your hat in the ring. Let us know how you've contributed to the community, and who knows, maybe you're on this video next year with a huge thank you from us at ServiceNow and all of the existing MVPs and all of the community that's being served and serviced by this program. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wishing everybody the happiest of holidays. Thanks, everybody.
Bye
Bye-bye.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.
I don't know if I'm supposed to play a song or anything, so I'm just going to hit bye.